trying to put everything in perspective, we had a press conference yesterday by Rudy Giuliani and his lawyers, Sidney Powell. They made a lot of statements. They made a lot of claims. We didn't see any evidence. The evidence is rather likely is there, but they haven't gotten it. Because if they had it, they would produce it. In other words, some of the things that they've been saying in terms of massive election fraud, yes, there was massive election fraud, no doubt. And probably this Dominion company did manipulate the votes. But to say that they're worried about retaliation against witnesses, and that's why they're not producing it to the public, they need to do that immediately. They could redact the names of the individuals on various affidavits. They don't have to release that. We understand retaliation. I've been retaliated against myself for the last 26 years since I started Judicial Watch in July of 1994. But they've got to come up with the goods. They got to come up with the beef because they're losing the confidence of the public if they don't come forward immediately. And time is running out on the President of the United States. And I do take things with a grain of salt as well, even though I do believe there is massive election fraud. Sidney Powell seems to become infected with her own sense of self-aggrandizement and worth. You just can't be throwing out those statements. Show us the beef. Redact the names. That means cross out the names, blot them out of the people that you have affidavits. Because the bottom line is this, and this is why you need to purchase my book and read it carefully. It Takes a Revolution, Forget the Scandal Industry. The courts will not resolve the issue. The courts, the legal system is corrupt. The legal profession is the most corrupt profession in the United States. You're talking to a lawyer right now or listening to him of 43 years. I can tell you this. I have been disgusted by the legal profession since before the time I started Judicial Watch in 1994. Judicial Watch, watching judges. Then I attempted to use judges to watch the other two branches of government. I've had some major successes, but you can see the country has continued its downward slide regardless. And that's why we are at the point, as Jefferson predicted, that it takes a revolution, that you need to turn off the scandal industry. Yes, you need to turn off Fox News. Fox News has turned left. They've turned anti-Trump. They've turned anti-conservative, except for a few commentators. Newsmax is trying to profit from that. Newsmax, the channel, when you turn it on DirecTV, you really can't even see the picture. That's how bad it is. But keep this in mind. Who is the CEO, the chief executive officer of Newsmax? The two-faced Christopher Ruddy, a slimy individual, frankly, who gave $1 million to the Clinton Foundation. They're not the answer. And nor is any cable news network. It would be good if the president, once he leaves office, actually purchases a cable network and gets out there and forms some competition. But right now, that is not the issue. The issue is rising up. And that's why first read the Declaration of Independence, that when the bonds of government are broken, the people have a God-given right to form their own government by and for the people with inalienable rights for everyone. We have that right now. I want to see it done peacefully and legally in mass. I don't frankly see the right rising up. I don't see peaceful demonstrations. I see a simple skirmish last weekend between Antifa and the Proud Boys. That's not the answer. The answer is mass civil disobedience, showing in mass, as Jefferson said, that when the people fear the government, there's tyranny, but when the government fears the people, there is liberty. The government, and in fact there is no government, must fear the people. That doesn't mean violence. It doesn't mean taking matters into your own physical hands. But they need to we need to show that we are in charge, as happened in Poland. And I'm going to have a colleague from Poland on this week on my radio show, Special Prosecutor with Larry Klayman. You can hear it at freedomwatchusa.org, at radioamerica.com. It'll be on the YouTube channel because, you see, Poland rose up. They didn't get violent, but they showed the communists it was time to leave. We need to show both the socialists and the communists and the Democrat Party, and frankly, the two-faced, worthless, cowardly Republicans, that it's time for them to leave too. One of the few commentators left on Fox News who actually tells the truth, maybe the only one, is Maria Bartiromo on Fox Business early in the morning, not on the Fox News main network, but she'll be gone soon too, I'm sure, from Fox. The owners of Fox, the Murdochs, favor the Bidens, and they're going left. But she said to a Republican just this week, it was Biggs, I forget his first name at this point in time, a congressman, why did you do nothing? Why did you sit around and watch this happen? You knew this was coming with paper ballots. You knew this was coming with possible election fraud on the internet or with regard to hacking. What did you do? Andy Biggs. And he said, you're right, Maria. You're right. At least he answered correctly. The Republican Party is a worthless bunch of hacks, stuffing money into their pocket, making a lot of power plays in the U.S. Capitol and around the country. It's exemplified by people like Karl Rove, as corrupt as James Carville and others, making money hand over fist, multimillionaires, leaving the American people behind. And in fact, Trump challenged them, and that's why they're now stabbing him in the back, like Brutus. Here's the bottom line. Here's the facts of life. Unless the president and his legal team come up with hard evidence quickly for the American people to see, this whole thing's going to be over in a week or less. And maybe God has a plan. I believe he has a plan. Almost like an Atlas Shrugged. Taking the country down to ground zero. It may be necessary to actually see the country destroyed, to be able to build it back up like John Gov't and the others in Atlas Shrugged had done and were doing. Because, frankly, the entire government, the entire system is corrupt top to bottom, and we don't have a legal profession that is any better. In fact, it furthers it. It's no accident that the overwhelming majority of people in Congress are lawyers. I'm a lawyer, but I'm embarrassed of my profession. It's the most dishonest profession in this country. And that's why Mark Twain said the only difference between politicians and lawyers and prostitutes is that prostitutes actually provide a service. And that's exactly right. And this is what we're dealing with today. So we, the American people, need to rise up. Go buy my book. It Takes a Revolution. Forget the scandal industry. Forget Fox News. Forget Newsmax. Newsmax is owned and run by somebody who gave $1 million to the Clinton Foundation. Stop being entertained. Get up off the couch, and let's wage that second American peaceful revolution with citizens' grand juries. Let's hold people accountable. Let's clean the rat's nest out of Washington, D.C. and the legal profession and the federal bench and some on the state bench, and let's save this country. That's my message for today. God bless you. God bless your family. Stay safe. God knows what he's doing. God will prevail, and his son. And right now, we need to do what our founding fathers did in 1776 and rise up and form a new government peacefully and legally, because we have none. To the extent we have one, it is corrupt to the core. That's my message for today. I'll be back Monday with another special podcast. Until then, listen to my weekly radio show with my colleague Ivan Belastenko from Poland, who can tell you what happened over there. The masses can rise up, and we can force these criminals, both Democrat and Republican, out of the public discourse and out of the body politic of our country to save it. God bless you. Thank you for listening to me.